They say the left hand, it drop mountains. They say the right hand, be slaying dragons.
All right, so really interesting stuff because it turns out that, your boy, Andy Cruz, coming off of a very tough loss to Raymond Muay, which I thought it was a close fight. I thought it could have went either way, but nonetheless, he's coming off of a very tough loss to Raymond Muay in his bid to become a world champion early in his career. And we also know that Albert Bell was ordered to fight Lucas Body, and Lucas Body decided to not go the IBF route. He decided to go the WBA route and fight for the vacant WBA title against Floyd Schofield, which was vacated by Gervonta Davis because Gervonta Davis is the champion of recess because Gervonta Davis can't stay out the damn jail cell. But nonetheless, this is a very interesting fight because it's been ordered by the IBF, and from the reports, it appears that Andy Cruz has accepted it, but there's been no formal date or anything announced. So right now, I'm just talking about this fight in a hypothetical sense because the IBF has, ordered the fight, and it's being talked about in the boxing community. So this is for documentation purposes. All right, Andy Cruz versus Albert Bell, very interesting fight because. Albert Bell, we'll start with him, right? We'll start with Albert Bell. Albert Bell is a fighter that really hasn't been handed anything in his career. This guy was in position to fight Shakur Stevenson. This guy was in position to fight Jamel Herring. This guy has, taken some tough fights in his career, in like the one against Andy Vences on Top Rank, and won and showed that, he's a quality fighter. He's been in camps with guys like Devin Haney and George Kambosos Jr. and all kinds of different sparring partners, but he just hasn't gotten his shot because he is high risk, low reward. He don't really sell tickets. He don't got a big name. He's 6 feet tall. He's very rangy. He's very awkward. He has respectable pop. He's not an easy guy to deal with, so a lot of guys treat him as an afterthought and they don't really go his direction, right? He's had a hard road, and he's going to get a harder road here because Andy Cruz, although he did lose to Muay and what I thought was a close fight, Andy Cruz is still a top talent. Andy Cruz is still a guy that, I think can use that experience to actually, make himself better against a guy like Albert Bell. And it's really interesting because you can say that in terms of pedigree and skill, Cruz with the gold medals and everything he did in the amateurs, he's definitely above Albert Bell. But Albert Bell is the much more seasoned, much more experienced professional fighter. However, no matter what the reason was, Albert Bell has not fought anybody as good as or on the level of a Raymond Muay. So you could even say in the pros, even though Andy Cruz only got 7 fights, he's fought Raymond Muay, he's fought Antonio Moran, he's fought some guys that you could say are better than damn near everyone on Albert Bell's resume. So it's really a fight where we're gonna find out who's who, and that's why that's why I hope this fight gets done because Andy Cruz is either gonna become in this fight he's either gonna become a champion or he's gonna be a chump, right? Maybe we can call this fight chump or champ or chump, we'll call it that because there's been many fighters over the years, gold medalists. Like I think about Zhao Schming back in the day. They had all this hype. They get to the pros, they get to a certain level, they lose multiple fights, and they're done, right? And he's not no spring chicken. He's not, I know he's like 30 years old. Andy Cruz is not young. So I think he needs to win this fight, I don't think it'd be good for him to lose 2 times in a row. Otherwise, who knows? Who knows where it puts him psychologically moving forward. And for Albert Bell, for him, if he beats a guy like Andy Cruz, who just had a really good fight with Muay, then all of a sudden, you got Albert Bell sitting pretty as the mandatory challenger for Raymond Muay. And then on top of that, think about it. Muay and Bell are both gonna have a common opponent. Now Muay, a lot of people thought that fight was close. Some people thought Andy Cruz won. It was a very good championship fight. If Albert Bell were to go out there and let's just say he outclasses Andy Cruz, let's say he goes in there and he stops him or outpoints him like 9-3 or something like that, then now I think that's going to be a feather in his cap when he becomes the mandatory, if he becomes mandatory for Raymond Muay, because now he can say, you know what, the guy you beat for the world title, I fought that guy right after you, and I beat him in way more convincing fashion. So then if Murataya wants to drop the belt, if Robert Garcia gets on his whole management tip and drops the belt and seeks bigger money fights, you can legitimately say that Aaron Murataya is ducking Albert Bell. So that's what's at stake for him. And a win here gets him a win over a guy who is a top-tier fighter. And it puts him in position to fight for a world title, which is what his dream has been his whole entire career. And I got to give Albert Bell his due because he's been a guy that, from my own research, you know, he's put his own money up. He's been a promotional free agent. He's had people backing him, and he hasn't had the machine behind him like that. So the fact that he's even made it this far, 28-0, still knocking on the door of a world title, you know, I respect anybody in life, in any field, in anything in life. You persevere, you put your own money up, you risk it all. I gotta respect you, and that's what he's been doing. So really good fight. Hopefully it gets done, and I'll have more to say about it when it actually does get done. But right now, just wanted to kind of give my early thoughts and flesh out some things in my mind about this potential match between two really good fighters. You know, Andy Cruz and Albert Bell. Let's see, because Andy Cruz and Eddie Hearn. Well, Eddie Hearn was talking about not so long ago potentially moving Andy Cruz down to 130 pounds because maybe he's not punching hard enough at the top level to beat guys like Murataya and the real aggressive fighters. So I don't know, but the fight's there, and we'll see if it gets done. But leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Ding. So until next time, take care, guys.
Thank you for watching True School Sports.
Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports empire, the home of boxing. We're on the road to 100,000 subscribers, guys, so help us keep being great. Help us keep pushing out that real boxing content for the fine folks all around the world. And make sure you jab, you hook, you Mike Tyson, you Mayweather that subscribe button. Pops, show them how do they got to hit the subscribe button. Pow!